Tuesday, March 31st, the year 2020. I'm coming to you today from the Commonwealth War Cemetery in Tywadreth in Cornwall. A very dear neighbour of mine, Joe Hancock, or Ewart Hancock, passed away in 1997. He was a wonderful man who fought for our country as a soldier in the war. Him and his wife Winifred, they lived next door to us on Woodland Avenue when I was a child, and they were always very welcoming and very kind, and let us play in their garden, in their allotment, where we sometimes went and pinched grapes and gooseberries, but we used to climb their trees and make pizza parlours out of all the frozen ice inside their water butts that they used to water their beautiful garden. Anyway, the subject of today's video is a little off topic for me, but not something that I don't have personal experience with. But I wanted to talk about domestic abuse and harassment, because this is an important issue that affects almost, every single human being at one time or another in their lives, perhaps. When encountering narcissists or people who are trying to control and contain you, or who don't want you to speak your truth. A few years ago, this is a bit of a long story. A few years ago, when I had my brain injury, I was in a very vulnerable state, although I always had my wits about me, of course. But for a while, my sister had to make decisions for me, you see. She became my carer, which I've already been eternally grateful to her, and even made videos about it and, thanked her endlessly. But that doesn't seem to be enough for her. I think perhaps only if I was dead and out of the way she'd be happy. But that's not going to happen because I've chosen to live. Sorry, not sorry. You almost had it. You almost had me. You almost drove me crazy enough to kill myself. Like that time when you called the doctor to come and home visit and psych eval me, when there was nothing wrong with me at all apart from you beating me up, which I made a video about and then retracted, of course, because, oh no, you can't air your dirty laundry in public. It's damaging to your sister's character, so my father said. And I called the police. And obviously they didn't do anything about it, but, it's domestic abuse at the end of the day. And I kept quiet about it, and I just, nodded and smiled and kept my mouth shut, because I was in survival mode. You have to do what you need to do to survive. But I've always had a voice, and I've always been observing and watching and, figuring people out. And it's a darn shame when your own family don't love and accept you exactly as you are. They're still trying to control and change you and imprison you, even when you're a fully grown woman. Yesterday, the internet was confiscated from me, so that I'm not able to speak my truth and put my voice out there into the world. Oh, I wonder why. Somebody's feeling a bit guilty. Anyhow. So yes, round 2, I guess we went. The other day, it was something so petty and stupid. I think the cabin fever of quarantine is making her crazy. Anyhow, the story goes like this. The Queen, Lauren, was complaining about fluff and cement being left on the toilet seat. So, when she sat down on her throne, there was dirt and grit there. I said, well, where am I getting dirt and grit from? Do you think that I'm an unclean person walking around naked and sitting on dusty walls and then sitting on the toilet seat? I don't think so. I've been cleaning up after you my whole life, and especially since Mum died, I've been cleaning up after you both. No questions asked, no thanks needed. And yes, perhaps, you were there for me when I needed you, but I didn't ever ask you to be there. You chose to be there so that you could be some kind of martyr. And I'm grateful for that, of course. I couldn't have done it without you. But it's time for us to go our separate ways now, and especially after in London when you called me and you said you never want to be a part of my life because when I'm off living my best life, I treat you like shit. And like you're worthless. Well, no, I don't. I just don't ever call you because whenever I call you, you're always moaning about something or having some boy drama. And that's really not that, important in the grand scheme of life. Relationships happen. People get burned. People get betrayed. You're lucky you've never had anyone cheat on you. But the way I choose to live my life is none of your goddamn business. And since you don't want to be in my life anymore, that's fine. Well, then don't talk to me and don't try to trigger me and try to make me, fight you. Like you physically attacked me the other day because, you know, after the toilet thing, you took a poo and then you didn't clean out the toilet bowl, and I'd cleaned that bathroom. I bleached it all down in the morning. So it's like a double standard, isn't it, Miss Princess? A double standard. You know, you can go around bossing everyone else and criticising them and telling them they're not good enough and judging them. But when it comes to someone calling you out on your crap, you can't take it. You can't handle it. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle my truth, and that's fine because I never want to speak to you again. You think that I'm the crazy one? To take a look in the mirror, girl. Because a sane person does not chase somebody up the stairs, enter their personal space, the room that that I'm imprisoned to and quarantined to, and then throw them on the floor. I pulled your hair, of course, because that's the only weapon I had at the time. And that's all I had because, you know, you have the body weight advantage. And I was on the floor, on my back, you were kneeling on my chest, and then eventually you'd pin my hands down and doing some kind of exorcism with your light language crap, trying to get the demon or attachment out of me. Well, like I said to you then, I don't have any attachments. My energy is clean and pure. The only attachment I have is you, who've been draining me my whole life, dumping all your problems on me. And I've been there for you, to give you advice and guide you, just as you have been there for me. None of us has done more for the other. Our situations have just been different. And no, we haven't had the same life. Yeah, we had the same upbringing, but I was the oldest, and as the oldest, I took the brunt of everything. You don't even know what I've experienced. So, you know, when you're writing your little stories, your life story, stop stealing mine, because my life is separate from yours. And from this day forth, we are over. I divorce you from my life. I will be civil to you and treat you with kindness and compassion like I always do. But do not speak to me. Do not try to call me. Do not enter my personal space, because all I have is that room. And you are not welcome there. Your energy is not welcome in my life. It was your choice, mate. You said you'd never forgive me. So, you know, I guess that's for you to decide in the future. I don't care. I'm happy. I've moved on. I'm dealing with my grief. And I certainly haven't ever blamed you or accused you of killing our mother, which is just disgusting. You said, I wish that she was dead and then she died. Well, I'm sorry, but no, that isn't how it happened, actually. She was at a party with Dad, getting drunk, as per usual. That's why we went away for Christmas, if you remember. If your brain has the capacity to hold anything other than your own dramas. We were away because we'd chosen to leave the family home for Christmas to enjoy it by ourselves for once, without all the, you know, destruction and terror that we've experienced every single Christmas, you know, since you were born, I guess. Well, no, not since you were born. It wasn't until I was about 7 or 8 until it started to really hit the fan. But yes, anyway, getting back to the point. I spat in your face, you spat in my face. So if you have corona, I have it. And if I have it, you have it. So there. You're lucky that there wasn't a wall behind me, because otherwise I would have thrown you behind my head when you're, you know, sitting with your knees on my chest, holding me down, telling me to calm down. I think you're the one that needs to calm down, Missy. Calm down and take a reality check. And telling me that I'm not awakened. Who gives you the authority? Are you God? I don't think so. Last time I checked, you were just mortal, just like everyone else. Although your superiority complex, you know, Miss Lauren, the spiritual one, empowering women, well, you can't even empower yourself, so take that. You definitely have been disempowering me ever since you had the control over me in hospital. You know, snide little remarks, telling me that I'm not good enough, judging me for my lifestyle choices. Well, I'm here to say that my lifestyle choices are my responsibility and my life. I don't want anything from you ever again. I appreciate all the help you've given me to this point. And, you know, those times when we were young, when I was getting bullied at school and, you know, I confided in you. But who else was I meant to confide in? I didn't have any friends because they were bullying me. And yes, I know you were bullied too, but you were the pretty popular one. So I think life was slightly a bit easier for you than it was for me. But it's not a competition, even though you like to think it is. But jealousy really is the ugliest colour. So, you know, wear something else, please. Especially when you're around me. You're the one that says that I'm jealous of you. Well, I'm not, because I don't want anything that you've got. Nothing. I am creating my own life, separate from you. And so yes, the point of the video, domestic abuse, yes. It can come in lots of shapes and forms. It can come in bullying, it can come in somebody judging you, not allowing you to speak. Or when you do speak and they don't like what you say, trying to silence you and then running off to daddy to make a pact against you, make a little bullying gang. And then take the internet away so you don't have access to any of your friends because they know that, you're in Cornwall and you're in quarantine and the only access you have to the outside world is to make your videos in order to survive. This is what I do to survive. So I can speak my truth and it's out there in the world. I can confide in somebody in something and someone will listen because there's no, like Ralph Smart says, there's no point arguing with idiots. Because one, they don't hear you. Two, they're so narcissistic and wrapped up in their own crap that they don't ever really hear you. And if they do, they just see it the way that they see it and then make up lies in their own minds and twist it to make you seem like the crazy one. Well, I wasted a year of my life convincing the whole family that I wasn't crazy because of what you did. So I think the tables have turned now, miss. I think perhaps you're the one that needs a psych evaluation. I did counselling. I did therapy. I rang the Samaritans every time I wanted to kill myself because I was in your proximity. So perhaps you need to take some of your own medicine and advice that you're always preaching to everybody. Take a hard look at yourself and make an inventory of all your discretions and indiscretions and, your mistakes and, work on yourself. Because I've been working on myself since day one. So yes, this is a free world where free speech is permitted. And I am not a victim. I have been a victim and I have not played the victim, but I have felt victimised. And it's starting again, this cycle, because they obviously haven't gotten out of the cycle. Perhaps because they haven't been away. They haven't had the experiences that I've had. We are all different people. We are all grown adults. Why can't we just live in peace and harmony? My uncle's another one. Tried to take me out last year. I had to literally get down on my knees and surrender to him in order for him not to punch me out. But, the family doesn't listen to that because, they just like to sweep everything under the rug and carry on with their underlying tensions and toxicity and, smile like Downton Abbey around the Sunday lunch table. Well, I'm not sorry that I'm not like you because I am no longer an Evans. I have learnt everything I can possibly learn from you, thank you. But from this day forth, I will rename myself Collins Rowe, after my great-grandfather and my mum, or Kelly Rowe Collins. So goodbye, family. Nice knowing you. I'm eternally grateful for everything you've taught me, but I am no longer going to live in this war zone being the punch bag for your crap. You need to take a hard look at yourselves and sort yourselves out, because that's what I've been doing. I'm still cleaning up after you. I'm still being kind. I'm still keeping out of your way, but you just keep aggravating me and keep trying to contain me and control me and limit me. I've already had enough limitations. Boy dramas are not important when you're trying to grow new neural pathways. Get some fucking perspective, bitch! You have no idea the amount of shame that I've endured learning to walk again in public, outside, people laughing at me and jeering at me. You wouldn't be able to handle one day of it. So how dare you try and tell me what to do with my life and how to live it, and limit me and stop me from talking to other people and having friends. The friends I have are real and they're for life, and they love and accept me exactly as I am. Everyone that I seem to meet in the world apart from you seems to openly welcome and accept me. So I don't know what it is. If I'm the problem, if I'm such the problem child, such the black sheep and the shunned one of the family, I don't know. Why do I have friends? Why am I doing something good for the world? Why am I using my trauma and experience to help others? Because I'm such a horrible person, obviously. A horrible person. I'm an evil person possessed by the devil himself. Of course. Anyway, speak your truth, even if your whole body quakes, because there is help out there, I hope, for people like me and like my mother who was bullied and, eventually ended up dying, to save us all, probably, to teach us a lesson on how to survive, without a mother. I guess we're all just lost children, or lost boys. But everybody needs a mother. And I know I'd make a great one, because I've been one my whole life. But at this time, I'm not ready for children because there's so much I want to accomplish by myself. And after my own upbringing, I've come to the realization that unless you have a stable home environment, you have a loving relationship, and you have enough money financially to give that child, the blessing of being the unique and incredible being that they were born to be, then there's just no point. Because otherwise it ends in trauma, it ends in suffering, and you pass on the sins of the father. And since I was the first grandchild born and I wasn't a boy, perhaps that was something that, they've been carrying. But I do respect my grandparents very much, and they've always supported me and my career as an actress, because they love the theatre. So I'm very grateful to them, although I understand at this time I'm not allowed to actually go and see them in person anymore, even though I had a couple of drinks of juice with them in the garden at a distance. But I haven't been sick at all, so I don't know what the issue is. My dad's allowed to see them, and he's been living with me, so it doesn't make any logical sense at all. But he is the man, so, I get it. It's a man's world, isn't it? Oh, yes, a man's world. Well, this is the age of the new woman, so all you men can just, go and play with your toys and your women and yourselves. Because this is our time. This is our time. You've had yours, and now it's our time to be ourselves. We are not victims anymore. We have voices, we always have. We just had to be the angel of the house, We had to, perform the role of wife and mother and cleaner and slave, mistress and lover, stripper and librarian. But I'm an artist, I'm an actress to the core. I'm not acting now, and I don't act in my daily life because in order to prepare for a role, it takes a lot of work. So why would I waste that energy acting in my real life when I can just be myself in my real life so effortlessly? I don't know, but anybody who feels that they are being harassed sexually or bullied by people that haven't grown up yet, reach out to me because I'll do anything within my power to help you. This is why I learned how to fight, you see. This is why I've been studying with Bruce and with Nathan and the guys down at the gym. I've been learning to defend myself because I have been scared for my life at many points. And, as the other day demonstrated, getting beaten up within your own home, nobody should have to deal with that. I'm not one for conflict, but at the same time, I found my voice now and there is no way I'm backing down because Kelly is for warrior. I just want to live in peace and harmony and spread love and help to heal people. That's all I want to do. And if that's not good enough for this world, then I guess you can just assassinate me. If I'm causing so many problems in this world. I wanted to die for so many times. And now I finally want to live. They're coming at me from all angles, trying to take me out. But listen to me, nosy neighbours who called the police when I made a video about art. I do not want to kill myself. Spell it out for your stupid minds. I want to live. I just don't want to live in a hostile war zone. I have the right and deserve to live in a safe place that I can call home, that I can go to shut out that stuff. Oh, a butterfly. A white butterfly. So there. You can take your lies and your hostility and your toxicity and shove it up your ass, because it is not welcome here. Your energy is not welcome here. Only love is allowed. And I love you all regardless, and I accept you exactly as you are, and I always have. I don't judge you. I love you, and I know you, and I see you. I see you completely. And, you know, some I like and some I don't, obviously, as with every person. You can't like everything about them. And you're going to run into conflict, especially when you have such a strong voice and opinions about things. But I'm an opinionated person, and that is my right. That is my divine birthright, as it is every living human being. But the difference is, I see myself as the same. I'm a woman of the streets, you know. I'm an equal to everyone, because that's the way that I envision the world. Every living sentient being as being equal and having an equal right to exist here on our planet called Earth. I'm not superior in any way. I admit I do have knowledge in certain areas that, you know, might be of value to some other people that don't have the same knowledge, but I'm willing to learn from every person, no matter if they have a master's degree in osteopathy or not. Considering you're a doctor of osteopathy, you think you can psychoanalyze me and call me crazy? Well, a piece of paper don't mean shit in the real world. As we all know. You come out of university with a degree and you can't even get a job. So anyway, one more thing. I'm just going to send out love, because that's all one can do. Transmute that negativity into love. Send it up to heaven, or send the negativity down into the earth, because Gaia will look after us. Hopefully. Respect the earth, and the earth will respect you. Let's end all war and suffering and judgment and abuse. This is the year 2020, and women should not be paid less than men. They should not be looked down upon because they're women, and they should not be imprisoned to the kitchen, and especially when they're a fully grown woman imprisoned to their room, devoid of internet access. Because they know I don't have any money right now. So, you know, that's where they can hold their power over me. Well, I owe my sister £19 for fuel back from London, even though she was coming back anyway. And once that's done, the karmic debt is paid, and then we are done. So if anyone feels like sending me £19 so that I can cut her out quicker, I'd really appreciate it, because this entanglement with her is just making me physically sick. And I have much work to do, as we all do, being children of Eve. Anyway, over and out for now. The warrior method. Exit matrix here. Much love, light, sweet blessings, and healing to you all, today and always, to your beloveds, and your family, and your friends. One love, universe. Maketh art, not war. One love, universe. Maketh movies, not war. Strawberry fields forever. One love. It's never too late to be what you might have been. George Eliot. I remember this quote about skeletons today, but I don't remember who said it. I have a feeling it was a poet or a playwright, but it was something about, something about if you have skeletons in your closet, you better make sure that you teach them how to dance. So I'm teaching my skeletons how to dance, and I'm leaving the past behind me. So please, family, dear family, please let me live my life in peace. And I will let you live yours in peace. Peace be with you all. I love you. P.S. I love you eternally. But it's now time for us to part. A woman.